Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your September Zodiac Wheel 2020. So I'll just focus here for you, Saggies, into the month ahead for Sagittarius. I invite angels and guides to join me in this reading for Sagittarius for their highest good and for the good of all concerned. Thank you all. Okay, so the Three of Pentacles is the first one up. And it is about wants and needs and desires. So it's like letting you know that you're dedicated to climbing the mountain and doing the hard work to succeed. And that you've got that creative talent there also coming through with the Three of Pentacles. So you're off to a good start. You're going to need to buckle down and tackle things one step at a time. Six of Wands is victory and acknowledgement, public recognition. It also governs fame as well. So being there in that second house area, it's really, you know, giving your self-esteem a real boost, and financially you're probably going to get a boost as well, or something is coming through for you financially. And you can be a very creative person. The wands are all about creativity and growth and energy. The Tower. Well, the Tower is a Mars energy. So it can be, you know, quite hot-headed. So there could be a little bit of hot-headed communication between you and siblings or in the neighbourhood. Now, the Tower message for you is to abandon any unstable lifestyles and forge a new path. Because if you are involved in unstable lifestyles, you will find that there will be upheaval or shock or surprises and unexpected things, and you'll be out of your comfort zone. Alright, so there's communication around that, and it's also to do with short distance travel, neighbourhoods and your siblings, and education, getting a bit of important information as well. So it's all a bit sort of sudden and coming at you, or you're experiencing it being you know, constantly changing and constantly something else and something else. So yeah, that's what it's explaining there, and to know that this is related to, you know, it is karmic. There is karmic energy involved with this. It's not just happening for no reason. But you know, if you've got some heavy shit going on in your neighbourhood, then you know, bunker down and keep things as calm as you can in your own space. Judgment, family, friends, property, and it can be about real estate also. Seven of Swords, especially here in the 5th house area, which is where you have the fun energy coming from, where you find your joy and where you find your bliss. The Seven of Swords is a message that's saying somebody's trying to take that away from you. There's a sense of loss, or you're feeling like, you know, you can't find your joy. And the best thing to do with that is again, find your own space, because there's someone that's let you down, and it may just be that you had plans and you were really looking forward to it, and then the person rang up and cancelled on you. It can be just as simple as that. Page of Wands. This is good news. The Page of Wands, especially in the working area, because we're all trying to get our working lives running a bit more smoothly, and this is like letting you know that you can let your hair down, and there's an opportunity for growth to do with work, hygiene, health checks, and even your pets. Lovely, the Ace of Wands, a gift of fire, Sagittarius. Fresh ideas, inspiration, optimism, and that drive. So you can go ahead and launch something new if you need to. It's in the partnership area, which is business partnerships or romantic partnerships. Five of Wands reversed. Four of Wands reversed. Rather. So there is experiencing delays to do with other people's money, and to do like joint finances, banks, loans, that kind of thing. So and you may feel that you're being held back from attaining your goals. Well, you may not be at a celebrationary stage just yet, but the Four of Wands is such a positive card that it's still coming. You will get it, and if in the meantime you might want to, you know, take off and get away for a little while. You might only be able to go locally in your local area, or you may be moving into a new home altogether. Okay, and there is that energy with the Four of Wands where, you know, you might want to be throwing a big party and having all the people you love around you, but you know, you have to sort of curtail going too big, which may be a little bit of a feeling of dissatisfaction, because that Jupiter energy, because Jupiter's gone direct, goes direct on the 13th of September, and Jupiter, it does want a big party, you know, like an expansion and all that sort of thing. So you might have to, you know, tailor that down a bit and only have, you know, maybe 10 people around if you are. But it does look like there is going to be able to be a gathering for you anyways, Saggies. So I'm sure you're glad to hear that. Bit of socialising. Now the Magician is reversed here too, in the area of higher education and overseas travel, and foreign cultures, that kind of thing, and the philosophies and your goals. And with the Magician reversed, it's letting you know that more planning needs to be done. So you need to go back over your plans, go back over and research and study. You need to do that. That's involved with that area of your life. Page of Swords reversed is letting you know that you can relax a little bit. And that's in your career, in your professional world, as well as what's going on out in the bigger picture of the world. And because this is how we deal with it. So there's something sort of confidential that you're going to hear about, and there's also a message of being able to relax a bit. So maybe you don't have to be on full alert as much as what you were. You can sort of breathe a little bit. Five of Swords is walking away, knowing when to walk away too. It is walking away, but it's knowing when to walk away. So you may be dealing also with friendship groups or social groups where you either feel bullied or not able to stand up for yourself. So you need to walk away, because might is not always right. Choose your battles wisely. And people are talking. You've got people talking, that's for sure. Okay? And that is in the polar opposite here of the 5th house, the 11th house. The 11th house is about your hopes and dreams and what you're manifesting. And you've got the 7 of Swords down here in the 5th house, where you also feel that there's something that's been lost. So I feel that you need, there's people in your life that you really need to cut out of your life and not associate with. Because this is a time where we've got to heal ourselves and focus on ourselves. And the Empress reversed. In the area of what's hidden, what's kept secret, behind the veil, what people don't see or don't know about you. It's also institutions. It does rule institutions. And this Empress reversed is letting you know that there's a need to heal some wounds that is connected to some of the difficulties with your mother. It is also about a clandestine affair. And for others, you may actually be rejecting a proposal. And it's also an indication of it not being a fertile time for those of you that are trying to conceive. This may not be the month to do that, because the Empress reverse usually does indicate the lack of fertility. Okay, so yeah, the first house here, Saggy, is having you sort of as the apprentice in something that you're building on that will bear fruit. Now Jupiter is moving into the 2nd house, which is going to help you evolve a deeper understanding of your true merit and your self-worth. So you'll be weighing up your own personal values, both financially and material wise. And big fundamental changes going on. With Jupiter, planet of expansion and opportunity, freedom. It's the planet of good luck. It's the jolly planet, so some good laughs and finding the funny side of things can actually come back into your life again. It also is the planet of expansion, so be careful because you could put on some weight or something like that, you know, or over exaggerate your concepts. Now it goes direct on the 13th of September, so really looking forward to Jupiter going direct. Saturn is also going direct in September on the 29th of September, so that's going to be good too, because when you've got Saturn retrograde, it really does drag your tail and it holds things up and it feels like nothing can move forward. So you've got Jupiter wanting to expand out into joy and freedom, and you've got Saturn pulling the tails, dragging it back in. And it seems to do that more when it's in retrograde. But in direct motion, which it will be on after the 29th of September, it's still got its same meaning and same frequency of regulations, traditions, rules, all of that sort of stuff. It's the Lord of Karma. And the karma that we are experiencing playing out in the world at the moment is about those of us reincarnated into this time of the 21st century in 2020, and our past life experiences, which I feel very strongly about them, the past life experiences that are really got the light shone on them here in especially 2020 is the Second World War and before slavery was abolished. They're the two things that have really bubbled to the surface here in 2020. So we've all been reincarnated, and a lot of us are reincarnated souls, which is Pluto. Pluto is about the soul. That has come back to sort through that karma of those two completely different eras, but it's also being presented here and now. So I do feel that there can be something beneficial coming out of this in the long run. So let's pray that that is the case for everybody, especially for those that are suffering through it at the moment. So we've got the full moon here in the 4th house in September. Now the full moon is shining a light there for you, and it's in Pisces. So you may feel inclined to want to take things a bit slower and rest and, you know, be comfortable around your home and pay attention to the subtle areas of your life. It is a full moon energy that is quite creative, and you can trust your intuition. Neptune's also in there, so Neptune retrograde in the 4th house is a message that you may be holding some idealistic memories of your home and family, and you may or may not be seeing it for what it truly was. And there's also a possible sense of loss connected with your home and family. You may seek to escape into a dreamlike home setting, because Neptune rules compassion and mystery and the mystic, and it is a very forgiving frequency, the Neptune energy, but in retrograde it can make things a bit foggy or have you under an illusion. And the Neptune retrograde does bring up the energy of people telling untruths as well. So try and be as true to yourself as you possibly can. That's a big one. Being able to be honest with yourself. So judgment here is about revolution, redemption, forgiveness, release, growth and transformation on your continual cycle of change. It is the awakening and wiping the slate clean and starting fresh. And forgiving yourself and anyone who has hurt you. And letting go of all the negative emotions surrounding you and preventing your growth. And remembering that forgiveness is the greatest healing power for your higher good. And we can sure see that in our society there is a lot of disgruntled people, and that they need to forgive. If they could just forgive the past, because you can't change the past. No matter what you do now, it's not going to change any of the past. What happened is what happened. If what happened is forgotten, then it's leaving the path open for it to happen again. So that's where history is so important to keep in place, so that it's never forgotten what everybody went through. As I said, we've all reincarnated back into this lifetime to sort through this. And in one lifetime you may be black, but in another lifetime you may be white. That's, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, not human beings having a spiritual experience. People don't really understand the concept of that, but that means that no matter what your ancestral lineage is, the soul chooses what vehicle, what body it's going to be reincarnated into to learn and grow. So I could have been white in this lifetime, but black in another lifetime. But I chose to come into this lifetime in a white body, in a woman, in Australia, instead of a black man in Africa. You know what I mean? So, but it's still the same soul. It's just the choice that soul has made, because we choose before we even get here. But that's for another video. But you can ask me any questions you like about that. Leave those questions in the comments. It's a very interesting perspective of how to view what we're experiencing in the world today. Now, Mars is retrograde here in your 5th house, and that goes retrograde on the 10th of September. So you can see that September is a really important month. There's a lot of things happening here in September, and on a personal level it can be really quite beneficial for us. Now, Mars is the planet that gives us our vigour and our drive and our sex drive and our aggressiveness and our decisiveness. It can be hasty, it can be rude. It is known as the god of war, or the planet of war. Mars energy can also bring about people's surgery taking place, because Mars rules knives and cuttings, and iron and weapons and things like that are also Mars rules. Now, Mars retrograde, that energy is also still about the very primal side of humanity. So it's the civilized versus the primitive with the Mars retrograde energy. And it's not about the civilized as in society as a whole, it's about you personally. Astrology is always about being honest with yourself. So it's the civilized part of yourself versus the primitive part of yourself. The primal energy, that fundamental instinct to survive. Now if they're out of balance, or one's more overactive than the other, or both of them are overacting, then that's destructive. And on a global level, we can see in different countries how that is actually imploding in on itself. Those countries are imploding, which is a very Mars retrograde word, imploding. That doesn't mean that if they get provoked, they're not going to explode, but at this stage anyway, they're still imploding. And so the Mars retrograde also has us really taking time to notice how we relate to men, whether we're men or women, how we relate to men, how we resonate with men, and it's also, for some people, will be playing out that the father figure is actually absent. Okay? So there is a wound there that needs to be healed. And the usual way of healing your wounds is to serve humanity in some way. Give something of yourself to others. Now, Uranus is in the 6th house, and it is also going retrograde, and it went retrograde on the 15th of August, which I really noticed because I started getting electric shocks off things. And Uranus is about the electromagnetic field, so you can get, literal electric shocks. You can have things to do with electricity popping up. You might even buy a new computer or other gadgets. Uranus energy is space exploration. It's about shock and surprise, sudden events, science fiction, the unconventional. So Uranus energy can unfold as a feeling of dissatisfaction, nervous breakdown, which I think we can see our world is going through a bit of a nervous breakdown, and it's erratic moods and unreliable behaviour. And that's all in the area of your work and work colleagues. Now here in your partnerships, there's, seeds are being planted there for new growth. So I do feel that you can go ahead and launch something new. Creative energy is there, and you can not expect, but don't be surprised if something does fall in your lap. Now, as I said, the Four of Wands is about you wanting to move ahead and get to a point where you can celebrate or take a vacation or move to a new home. But you might have to make some adjustments to that, but it is there letting you know you can do that. So if you're looking for a loan from a bank or joint finances to bring that about, it is showing there that you can achieve that. Venus is going into Leo on the 6th of September. Now, the Venus in Leo, I feel, is heart chakra energy. So use rose quartz crystals is always good to work with your heart chakra. That Venus in Leo energy can see you acting things out. and it also can bring some fun and creative energy with it into your relationships. In the area of travel and exploring and higher education. New moon is in Virgo on the 17th, up here in your career area. So that's a time where any chores that you need to be getting done, tidying up or getting organised, any health checks that you may need to schedule in, fitness regimes are also highlighted here. So, you know, there is hard work involved, but you prefer to have things all organised anyway at this time with Virgo there on your midheaven. So that's the 17th. And it's also a time where you can really see where things have come to culmination as well. The sun is here in Libra from the mid of September. So in your friendship groups and your social groups, you can find that you may be playing the diplomat and being the peacemaker. Okay? And Mercury is also in Libra here, where again, that's the diplomatic peacemaker and a go-between, and you may find that you're playing that out in your social groups or with your friendships, and you don't really want to be a part of any arguments. You just want to get the harmony back. And here with your hidden strengths and involving your intuitions with that Empress in reverse, I feel that you've got to sort through some hidden issues that you have with your mother or the mother figure. Okay? Now here is your angel that you can turn to and ask for guidance and help for you through September. Thank you. And you have the Angel of Unity and the number 34. Lovely. Stick together. That's one thing Australia does well. We are one. We are all united in this, even though we've got our borders shut from state to state, but hopefully that's going to change soon, because really on the whole everybody has been doing very well, and so is Victoria, so they're getting their numbers down now. So I think it's a good sign, that Angel of Unity being there. So the message of this is you are a being of the universe, and the world needs people like you to create unity and peace. And your affirmation, Sagittarius, now is a time for unity throughout the world. My Angel of Unity and I will be a guiding light for like-minded souls to unite. Lovely. So you are going to be feeling united with someone. Then you can ask the Angel of Unity to carry you through there with that. So I ask for a confirmation card now of this reading from the Akashic Tarot deck this month. Get a message from the your Akashic records, or the Akashic records. It's where all our memories and information about our past lives are held, and our future lives too. Oh look, it's the equinox, and it is the equinox September. It's spring in the southern hemisphere and autumn in the northern hemisphere. How's that? Wow, I love it when the universe has the first move. Okay, so your message is, this is a creative time for you. Take action in creative projects or work-related endeavours that require more time and attention. The work you do now could yield great rewards later. Make sure you engage in this extra activity with joy and optimism. You are always planting your energy into the Akashic records of your life as you work towards your goals. Remember to plant hope and happiness along with all the actions that you take. Lovely. Thank you for joining me, Sagittarius, and please do click on like, and if you're a new viewer, please subscribe so you don't miss out on any more updates. And until next time, sending many blessings and peace to you, Sagittarius. Now, namaste.